Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to season 2 of the Sang Media podcast. I have a new guest with me today, a man I've been trying to get on here for a long time, a super talented individual. I love looking at his work. The myth, the legend, Kobe.
What is up, guys? I'm Kobe Bryant. I am a photographer and director out here in Virginia, and I just want to say thank you, Vinny, for having me on this podcast. You know, it's been a long time since
sir.
we've last connected, and yeah, I'm just super excited to be here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to have you here. If you guys don't know, Kobe and I have known each other for the longest time.
Yeah.
But we haven't actually had to sit down and have a conversation with each other or do something with each other like this, besides like maybe I would have a project and he would be there, but like, you know, we're in project mode.
Yeah.
Or we see each other at like a party, but then it's like a short hi and stuff like that.
Yeah, it would just be like a quick, like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Like, it's Vinny. And all right, see ya.
Yeah, see ya.
Yeah.
And then I think I've been texting you for about 3-4 months trying to get you on a podcast.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So we've originally planned like a few months back, but
Yeah.
you know, like COVID, and then like I've been busy with everything. Like I have work and shoots, everything like that.
Yeah,
so.
this man is talented. He's like, I got booked,
Thank
and
you.
I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna plan ahead of time. I'm gonna be like, hey, can I get you next month type of
Yeah.
thing? And he's like, oh, I'm actually free.
Yeah.
There's nothing there
So
yet.
it's like perfect time. I actually opened. I don't know if you remember. I texted you last Saturday.
Yeah.
Where I was like, oh, are we good? Like, because I opened both Saturdays just in case. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I have Vinny one of these Saturdays.
Yeah.
So that's why I texted you last week. I was like, are we good for tomorrow? And then I checked again. I was like, oh crap, it's next week, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'm just super excited to be here. Like it's like finally time, like we actually connected, you know?
Yeah, yes, sir. And then
Yeah.
who knows, we might get some shots after this. Too,
Yes,
depending
sir.
on what this
Yes,
is.
sir.
So,
Yeah.
if you guys don't know who Kobe is, basically, I'm gonna give a little bit of background of him based off like my third person. He's a photographer, like he said, in the DMV, a director, and all that type of stuff. And I've been probably looking at your stuff for the past maybe 3 years, to be honest, Kobe.
Really?
You are very known in the Filipino community. Basically, and I got into the Filipino DMV community like 3 years ago
Yeah.
when I met Jordan and Zach.
Yeah.
And then I was just seeing all these photos, to be honest, of like photo creds, Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Photo creds, Kobe Bryant. I'm like, dude, like where does this guy get these shots? Like these are so clean and
Thank
crisp
you.
and stuff like that.
Thank you.
So I'm really excited to talk about that and like figure out like how was it like picking up that camera for the first time where you knew it was like, hey, this might be something I want to do for a living, or this is like I'm really passionate about this.
So basically, like it started basically a long time ago. So all my friends basically pushed me to start photo and video. But I was really invested into photo because it's just like a quick thing. Where video is like, oh, I have to edit everything like that.
Yeah.
So all my friends, like, I'm actually grateful for them because they actually pushed me to start this. And they're like, yo, like, why don't you just like get into photography? Like you've been taking pictures of us.
Yeah.
Like we see like you have potential and stuff like that. So I'm just like, yeah, like why not? I'll go all in. So one year I just decided like, I invested all my money into like a camera. Like this was back then too. So like high school almost
Oh, tough.
graduation. So I was broke.
Yeah.
So like all my money went into camera gear, like lenses, everything like that. And like what we said before, like gear hurts, gear hurts
Yeah.
the pockets. But yeah, basically all my friends just told me like just start taking pictures. So I just started advertising. I'm like, hey, if you guys need pictures, this is how much it costs. Like, this is how much it is per session. If you know anyone that needs pictures, let them know about me. Everything like that. So, like actually, I started with debuts. You know what a debut is? It's like
No
when you
clue.
turn 18 in like I guess as a Filipina.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like a quince, but
Oh.
you turn 18.
Yeah.
So it's like a huge banquet event, and like you usually get photo and video there. So like I was making like I guess bread off
Yeah.
that. So I
Yeah.
used that as potential to build my portfolio. Like, oh, this guy does events. This guy like if you know one Filipino, you know every Filipino.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you understand, right? Like
Yeah.
like it's a connection kind of thing, kind of where like, oh, this is their cousin, this is like their cousin's cousin. They grew up
Yeah.
together, everything like that. So it was kind of easy for me to connect in the Filipino community, but I'm actually trying to grow out of that because I've noticed that a lot of Filipinos like taking advantage of well, the
Older
older
ones.
like
Okay.
consider like yeah, they like taking advantage of, I guess, hiring people, you know.
Okay. Okay.
So they would lowball. They'd be like, "Oh, can you do this whole event for like $100?" And I'm like,
A whole event.
that's like 6 hours of work. You want it edited. You want it like
Yeah.
everything raw." And I'm just like, "No, I can't. Like, find someone else."
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're just like, "Oh, okay, blah blah blah." And then they end up finding no one. And then they ask me again. I'm like, "Okay, this is my set rate."
Yeah.
Where it's like, sorry.
You're good. You're good.
Sorry. Where it's like, this is my set rate. This is how much you owe me, and they'll be like, oh, okay. And then they notice at the end, after like the whole event, everything, they're like, oh, that was worth his price. And
Yeah.
like, I guess that's one of the things where you have to know your worth.
Yes.
Like you have to
Yes.
know your work's worth and like everything like that. So like before, I would lowball myself, and everyone's like, oh, that's how much you charge? Like, that's it? Like, it would be like $50. And
Yeah,
this
yeah.
was like years ago, but it would be like $50 for like a whole session. And everyone's like, oh, it's only $50 to like get him. And
Yeah.
word would get around. They're like, oh, $50. Like,
Yeah.
that's nothing. Like, okay, let's do it. And then they hear me now, like, they hear my rates now, which is like, if you want to
Yeah.
hear my rates, just reach out to me because I don't post it anywhere else. But they're like, oh, like, okay, he upped his price. He definitely knows like what he's doing now, like more of the financial side of everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess at that point, I was like, okay, like I can make money off this and grow, and like I actually like doing this. So like when I first picked up the camera, I was just like, okay, this is it. Like I'm all in.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going back. I'm not changing anything. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like seeing that first form of payment basically is everything, right? It's like showing like, dang, like I could do this for a living if I take it really seriously, type of thing.
Yeah.
And I really like that your story where they try to lowball you, and then they're like, oh crap, I can't find anyone else.
Exactly.
All right, let me get your rate.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, this is actually worth it. And I think that's what a lot of creatives, especially freelance photographers and videographers, right, are struggling to do. And I have to admit, like, I'm one of those people too, because like I just opened myself up to like doing photography and videography work, and then also started another side business with my friend, with Jordan, and another friend, Steph, trying to do like promotion work, right, and stuff like that. But it's kind of like, all right, you need to know your worth, but at the same time when you're starting, it's like you said, you started with just $50 an hour. It's like you kind of like downgrade yourself because you don't know for sure
Exactly
how much to charge for your stuff.
Yeah, and I guess at that, when I was doing that, I didn't really have any clientele, so my audience was like, I had no audience at all. So $50 was like, okay, to me, like that's a lot at the time.
Yeah.
But then I realized, I was like, I can be charging professional rates and like giving them my professional hours, everything like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And they can get all the work that they need with me, but they're paying the right price, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to undersell yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, like I'm not in this like for the money or anything.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
definitely so one of my advices is like, if you're in the creative field, don't do it like for the finance aspect of it.
Yeah.
Because if you do it for the finance aspect of it, then you're gonna lose your creativity. You're not gonna push yourself anywhere. Like you're gonna lose it. And I guess I've noticed a lot of that with creators, not specifically here, but like I'd want to say closer to my area.
Yeah.
Like I've noticed a lot of them are like, oh, photos, you can do photos, charge like $500. Like that's easy. You just press a picture, and
Yeah.
it's like no, it's not that simple.
Yeah.
Like it's a complex like
It's a process.
yeah, it's a
Like
yeah, it's a process. Yeah,
people don't know the craft behind
exactly,
taking a good photo, taking a good
exactly.
video.
And they don't consider like all the money and time you spent on your equipment
Yep.
and like editing, everything like that. Like I guess they don't realize how many hours and time you put like into
Yeah.
your own craft, you know?
Yeah, and it's kind of like the hours that you put before the shoot too, right?
Mhm.
It's like, okay, you want to do this shoot with me, right?
Yeah.
So you have a certain expectation of what these photos are going to be like. So I'm going to be thinking about it the whole time. I'm pretty sure you've gone through that too, right?
Yeah,
It's like, okay,
yeah.
I need to make sure I fit their vision. I need to make sure
Yeah.
it goes into the right way that they want it. It's like, okay, they
Mhm.
want to shoot at this location. I need to location scout the location first.
Exactly.
You know, and I need to see what angles work and stuff like that. And then, they could judge you. They're like, oh, you just take a photo. But it's like, okay, if I'm taking photos of you and you don't know how to model, I need to direct you on how to
Exactly.
model too.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like a lot of people don't know how to direct themselves, so that directing part is onto you. Because
Yeah.
I do know like some photographers where they're like, okay, here, let me just snap a picture really quick. But it's not really just that. You have to tell them what to do, especially if the model or the subject is not comfortable at all, like in front of a lens. You
Yeah.
know? So I guess being a director also plays into photography if you're into portrait and like fashion and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
for sure. For
Definitely
sure.
plays a big role. So
Yeah. Because I remember the first time I like tried to do photography with someone who wasn't like really comfortable with themselves.
Mhm.
And I was like, shoot, I haven't been like, I didn't even think about poses for you yet.
Yeah.
So I was like, because it's a blessing to get the naturals, right? That are just like, all right,
Yeah.
can you go over here and there, or like 1, 2, 3,
Exactly.
and it's like,
Yeah.
all right, I just need a snap. And
Yeah,
then
it's
let
like
me get the right
okay,
angle.
yeah, it's like go time.
But like when they're like, oh, what do you want me to do? And then you got to think about it a little bit because you already like the location. And it's like, all right, now I need to think of the vision of how I want to shoot this photo.
Exactly, and it's all about like the essence of the outcome, what you're trying to get.
Yeah.
So you can't just take a photo and it's like okay, like cool, he's just looking into the camera.
Yeah.
But it's more as to like, oh, like what is the photo trying to give off? Like, what's the feeling of this?
Yeah.
But I mean, there are like quick, like point and
Point
shoot,
and shoot. Yeah, yeah.
like people, you know, where they're like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, and don't get us wrong. Like we're just expressing it because like we've seen both sides and like both are cool. Like when you get someone that like wants a direction, it kind of like to me it feels like a good sense of responsibility. It's like
Exactly.
all right, now I could take what I have learned and like help direct you and make you feel comfortable. And then when you see the photo, you're like, wow, I didn't know I could pose like that. That makes me feel like
Exactly.
everything. And then you have the people who know the poses they already want to do, and you take the photos, but they're like, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't get these photos. type of
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
So,
And it's like kudos to to the model for
Yeah.
knowing what to do and like trusting the photographer, being comfortable in
Yeah.
that workspace. So
yeah.
yeah,
And it goes both ways too, because like I think we could have the vision, we could direct them, right? But sometimes the model's directing us, and they're like, "Oh, can I try to get a photo like this?
Exactly,
Can I
yeah.
do this?" I was like, "Oh, what about we do it?" And you're like, "Wow, I didn't think about that. Let me try it." And it's like,
Exactly.
"Oh, this is a fire photo."
yeah, and that actually helps a lot, dude. Like some models would ask me, they're like, oh, like, can I try this pose or like, can we do this like here?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, and I never thought about it like that, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay, maybe I'll think about that next time. So you apply that onto your work. So I guess the more consistent you work on your craft, you know, like you will realize, like I could have done this better. I could have added this. I could have changed this. You know,
The power of learning as you go.
yeah, it's literally a process.
But
Yeah.
taking it back to what you were saying a little bit earlier, right? You were talking about how if you get into this creative business, right? If you get into this creative hobby, like it's not always about the money, right?
Yeah.
Because I really like that you said that, you could lose your creativity diving into money. Don't get me wrong, right? Like if you want to make it for a living and stuff like that, there is some business you need to put into it.
Exactly.
But at least all the successful stories I've heard of, or like the people that I look up to, they said they were doing this work for themselves. They were doing it because they genuinely loved it and they wanted to shoot this content for themselves and to show it to the people.
Yeah.
It wasn't about like, oh, I could do this and exploit this much amount of money on X, Y, and Z and stuff like that.
Yeah, like I do know people where they do it just for themselves, and people reach out to them and be like, "Hey, how much do I owe you for the shoot?" And they'd be like, "Oh, don't worry about it," just because they want to add their work with you onto their portfolio,
Yeah.
and like they just like the craft, you know, they love the art and they have a passion for photography,
Yeah.
especially with video too. So before I did videos like for YouTube
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and I would just record everything, like just going out on weekends and stuff too, like going out to eat, and I just love doing it.
Yeah.
Like I just love like recording, like, you know, these moments like with friends and like family, and it's just sick to me. So
Yeah.
I didn't realize like you can get paid off of YouTube.
Yes.
So I had a video a long time ago.
Really?
Where it reached a good amount of views.
Oh, tough.
And I got paid from YouTube, but this was before their contract with AdSense. So this is when like all the big YouTubers were getting like millions and like just off one video.
Yeah.
I got like $50 off that video.
Yeah.
Like almost $50 off that video. I was like, whoa, like I got paid. And then the contract with AdSense came out and they're like, oh, you need to reach these amount of like requirements, everything like that.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize like, oh, like people actually watch like my work, and they like me going out and vlogging and stuff like that with my friends, everything.
Yeah, that's tough. I would have never known unless you told that story.
Yeah, it's actually crazy because that's also the thing. My friends pushed me, like how I said in the beginning. Yeah. My friends pushed me to start YouTube because they always saw me as like the creative kind of person. Yeah. Where they're like, oh, dude, like Kobe's always like recording or he's always taking pictures, and like we see like he's the only like artsy kind of like person in our friend group. Yeah. So they told me, they were like, yo, like keep posting on YouTube, like why don't you post anymore? And I'm like, I don't know, man, like I have nothing to post. And I guess that's when I reached my like creative plateau, like you know, like everyone reaches that, you know, like like where you're just stuck, you don't know like what to post, anything. But I mean, it happens like with all creatives. You know?
I feel like the creative plateaus, right? To some people, it feels like that's the only plateau, so they kind of like give up. But I think if you're like in it for the long run, you realize it's creative plateaus. Right? Yeah. So like you reach the highest point at your moment at that time. Yeah. Until you like figure something out, and then you start rising again. It's like a roller coaster, basically.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, why does it feel like I can't get any further than what I'm doing right now? And then you start diving into more things or meeting more creative people or like watching other videos and be like, I want to do it like that. Then you reach that new threshold of the knit and grit things, like I need to grind, I need to figure it out. Exactly. You don't understand how to do it yet. Yeah. Type of thing.
Yeah, and like that's also one of the reasons why I kept pushing, you know, because I know like JP, everyone, all of you guys are like pushing yourselves, you know, and that like motivates me, where it's like, oh, like I see them like working every day, you know, like working on their craft, everything like that. Like JP has a store, he just like launched everything. I'm like, wow, like they're going, like they keep pushing. There's no red light for them. I'm like, okay, like I need to do that myself. Whereas like the people you surround yourself with or associate yourself with is like plays a big part of your life. So definitely, I think one of your support groups are your friends. Yes. Always friends. Because family's there for you, but they don't really understand your vision like as your friends do. Yeah. So
it's different perspective and different other friend groups too. Exactly. Right? Because like you need certain friend groups, like the friend groups that you know that you grew up with, the friend group that's your creative friend group that's like pushing you, and then there's like the friend group where you just relax and just,
exactly. Like you have different friend groups where they all accept you and they're like, oh, cool, like he's doing this, like that's sick. Yeah, you know, and it's just really cool. Like growing up with like those people to help push me into photography and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's dope. So, it really it really takes like good friends to do that for you.
For sure. Like,
But sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
no, go ahead.
But leaving up on that note, we're gonna come back to this.
Yeah.
We're about to hit our halfway break right now, so take like the 30 seconds to a minute to grab a water, take your bathroom break, bring another friend to the podcast, get a little snack. We're also welcoming sponsors for this podcast or any other type of things because, I know a lot of people in my friend group that we started our creative businesses, so we could, shoot a skit, something like that for you. You could hit my man Kobe right here. He could probably, if you sponsor him, he could get some dope ass content for you as well. So
Yes, sir.
we're looking for sponsors, and we'll see you in a bit. And we are back. So where we left off, we were talking about basically friend groups, right? And how your friend group helped you push you to get there, and like how we were talking about like how seeing other type of friends like JP, Kaylee, and a lot of other creatives out there. I know Jordan really motivates me, Zach, and my other friend Steph, just to name a few, right?
Yeah.
It's like seeing them have goals or talk about what they want to get done, or like seeing them like going through the motions. It's like, wow, I need to start moving. And I could really resonate that when you were talking about that. It's like, okay, they're doing it, why can't I do it?
Exactly.
And it's like also seeing your photos too. Like, I know. Did you recently shoot with Carlo, or did he have those like saved up?
I shot with him a week before his birthday, and he's like, "Oh, I have to save these to post for my birthday." I was like, "Of course, it's his birthday."
Because the fucking white clean background. And everything. I was like, dude, this is dope. I was like, damn, I need to, go out there and keep on learning and stuff like that. So I was like, it really resonates with me that like, that really motivates you, and it's cool that your high school group of friends, right, that are like, hey, you're the creative of the group, like, dive, go for it. And I could really relate to that because, this is said multiple times in my podcast. It took a breakup for me to really dive into it. And then I was talking to my friend group at that time, like my high school friend group, and I'm still friends with them to this day. We just started talking again. I'm really grateful for that because I fucking love them to death.
Exactly.
But they were just like letting me like understanding my grind and like going with the people that push me. Like you said, like we talked about, there's different friend groups, but they were the ones where I'm like, I was on FaceTime and like, dang, I really want to make YouTube videos. I really want to like do X, Y, and Z. And then they literally just say, why won't you just do it then? And I was like, I don't know what, it's such a simple answer, but just dinged in my head. I'm like, you're right. And I just hanged up the phone call and then just, I started with the iPad.
With iPad?
I started with the iPad.
Really? With the iPad? I didn't know that.
I put an iPad right in front of my desk. And I talked about, honestly, I always wanted to do skits and stuff like that. But like at the time, I was like, I'm a psychology major. I've gone to college and I've worked at the same time while in college. Let me talk about the difference about going to college or going straight to a job, because I've seen both things and how they plan out. And I was like doing psychology advice because I thought I had to do it because of my psychology major. But then it took a little bit later on to be like, nah, I know what I want to do. I want to talk about more creative stuff. I want to make these creative things. I want to make these skits. I want to make people laugh, or I want to make people feel a certain type of way with sending a message.
Yeah, and that's good, dude. Like, I didn't know you started on an iPad.
Yeah, dude.
That's crazy.
I went from an iPad, right? And then I went to a knockoff GoPro brand. And then I went from like this cheapest GoPro. It wasn't even like in the Hero series. It was like the cheap GoPro knockoff.
First, or like,
That ended up breaking. And then I got a Hero 7. I still have it to this day. But then I never knew about DSLRs or mirrorless cameras. I grabbed my first DSLR and I was like, quality difference. Holy.
Yeah, like you notice that change, like
Yeah.
instantly. You're just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like,
And then when I got this
see-
mirrorless camera, I was like, this is bad news. I'm heavily invested
yeah,
now.
yeah, it hurts. Like once I switched from Canon to Sony, and I'm like, whoa, like,
Yeah, yeah.
this is sick. But I actually am looking at like more gear also outside of Sony,
Yeah.
just because of the colors.
Yes. Yeah.
In it, because you know how Sony they lack
In
basically
colors. And then you got to fix that post.
and you have to fix everything in post.
Yeah.
And whereas Canon or like Fuji, everything's like cool,
crisp colors, but
Crisp.
nothing will beat Sony's autofocus.
Yep.
And the
and
accessibility type of thing, and like how cheap it is compared to the
exactly. And
others.
actually, I got into Sony because I was doing a lot of like night shoots. And you know, Sony is like
better night performance.
perfect for like low light, like everything like that. So
Yeah, I was debating on Canon, right?
Mhm.
But Jordan, that man's so freaking convincing, and I gotta agree too. Like Sony is it's just great, you know. Like
Sony's a great brand.
what it lacks in is like it doesn't lack that much, you know.
Yeah.
And then especially for its price, granted, it's still expensive.
It's crazy. It's
But
crazy.
like it's still great because like you know all the greatest YouTubers I'm pretty sure that we follow, like Daniel Schiffler, Peter McKinnon, Chris Howe, Mark well I can't say his last name, or Peter Wallback.
Yeah, Peter Wall.
Wallback,
I think it's Wallback
Yeah,
something.
something like that.
I've seen it in the videos.
It's like half of them use Sony A7 IIIs. Most of them a lot switch to Sony, or they use the Canon R5. Right?
Yeah, Canon are, and like a lot of them have been switching to mirrorless like equipment. But like lately, I've been following a lot of film photographers or like watching film photographer videos just because they know the whole science of like film.
Yeah.
So like I know I've been watching like Volandis, William Verbeek, and like these other film photographers, and they explain like, oh, you have to shoot at like 2 stops down, or you have to overexpose because like the highlights, everything like that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow, like film photography is like really it's a whole
world.
different game.
Yeah.
It's really technical,
But it looks so dope. If you get
it looks
right.
it looks like sick, but it's so costly and
I know eventually I want to get into film, but I'm just like, I'm going to stay in the digital realm for a little bit until like, you know, I start making more bread, and then maybe I can start experimenting with the
That's the same
stuff.
with me too, where it's like, oh, let me do my digital first. Let me do what I know before I like fuck up anything else.
Yeah, because this is beautiful too.
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
there's so much to learn with this, but it's like I don't know if it's becoming a trend or like it's just a thing when you get into photography and videography where like film is starting to more and more feel interesting to you.
I think it's all Instagram. Like I've noticed a lot of Instagrammers, they look for the film look.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah.
Whereas I don't know if you follow any Twitter photographers, but
I've seen only a couple. Shout out to Jordan for hooking me.
I see Jordan like retweet some of their work too. But I've noticed I've been seeing a lot of fine art photographers and landscape photographers with film on Twitter. And I guess Instagram, here's the thing with Instagram. So a lot of people on Instagram, they post pictures that they don't even like, but they're trying to get engagement. So it's not really for themselves. It's more as to, oh, like, will this person like this photo, or like, will I get this person to like this photo, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where that's why I kind of think Twitter is way like a bigger platform for photographers because it takes one button to share their work. Whereas to you can post on the story on Instagram, but the thing is not everyone's gonna look at your story.
Yeah.
Eventually on Twitter, once you retweet some other people's work, they'll notice that and you'll get engagement off like that.
Because Instagram's a little harder because it's like when people share it on their stories, it's like, oh, it's another story.
Especially with the algorithm, like the whole switch up and everything.
Yeah.
It's hard. But
Twitter is something I need to get more into.
Me too.
It's just, I don't know. It's so I think it's just intimidating to me. But
It
like,
is. It
it's
is.
just like you just need to post and say whatever, type of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Like if you weren't going to post before, what does it go to hurt if you post now?
Yeah,
Type of
exactly.
thing.
Like it like you said, it's intimidating, and I'm like, yeah, like I feel that way too, where it's like, okay, people are gonna like criticize my work and stuff like that, but like don't get me wrong, you're always gonna get criticized. Your work will always get criticized, and you're not gonna have everyone like your work,
Yeah, for
Like there's
sure.
always gonna be like one or like two people that are like
Yeah,
it's okay. But like the thing is, you're doing it for yourself,
yeah.
Like if you
Remember,
like it, you like it.
yeah. Remember haters.
Yeah.
No, that's when you know you made it.
Yeah, exactly. Like when you have haters, you know you're doing something right
Yeah,
because they're definitely hating
yeah,
and they're jealous of like what you're doing, how you got there,
yeah. They
everything like
can't do the
that.
work that
Yeah. And if they
they
say,
expect.
yeah, and if they
Yeah,
say like, no, I just don't like it. No, like there's a reason you don't like it.
yeah. You like. There's obviously a reason why you got to comment on this, isn't
Yeah,
there? Type of
exactly.
thing. Like,
Like you're going out your way to
yeah. If you didn't like it,
to
you just been like,
yeah,
scroll.
you just scroll away. Like,
Yeah.
that's it. You don't like it? Yeah, fuck you, man.
Yeah, it's like,
Like,
"Arr."
yeah,
It's like I could do better than this. All right, where's your
I know.
work?
All right, do it. like do it
Are
then.
you
Yeah,
doing it? Oh, cool. Yeah,
yeah.
that looks pretty cool.
And that's actually the thing too. I've noticed a lot of, well, not a lot, but a few people like have been following me, and I've noticed they've been kind of copying my style in a
oh,
sense. And these are people like around the area, you
oh,
know,
okay.
where I've actually caught on, and I'm like, whoa, like, okay, they're in like this area I shot here, and
Yeah,
it's like they edited like how I
I
edit,
edit.
like stuff like
Oh,
that, and I caught on. I'm like, okay, but the thing is with copying, like when you copy someone's style, you don't have a style.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because you lose all your creativity just trying to copy that image or like trying to copy their version,
Mm-hmm.
because like again, you can't really copy someone's work because you're never gonna get at that same level as they are.
Yeah.
You won't understand like what their intentions are with their
What was their
photos.
vision?
Yeah, what
Yeah,
their vision was, what they're trying to achieve.
yeah. What they're
You
trying
know?
to show in this photo, type of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, exactly. And I've seen like a few people where they're like, oh, so I have a picture on my Instagram on my
Mm-hmm.
photo page where it's edited and it's like a kind of a collage kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
And like a few days after, I see someone edit like the same exact way, and I'm
Interesting.
like, okay, like
Like, do you want to
that's
say something?
yeah. I'm like, okay, like cool, like you're showing me love, I guess, like in your
Yeah.
in your way. But the thing with copying is like you're not gonna get anywhere
Yeah.
creatively.
Yeah. I feel like with I guess copying people's styles and stuff like that, right?
Hmm.
Um, as a receiver, it could be seen in different ways. Like, oh, are you copying me? Or it's like, oh, like that's pretty dope that you kind of like what my
Yeah,
stuff is.
yeah,
But also, like, I really agree that you were just like, you're not going to really adapt or change if you
yeah,
keep on like, it's not your own creativity. You're trying to copy someone else,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
And I feel like I'm still struggling with to this day. Like, I'm still trying to find my style, especially with photos, right?
Yeah.
With me right now, I just like the really clean look,
Hmm.
right? And
Yeah,
just like enhancing the photo and then making
yeah,
it look a little bit more gloomy or moody, and depending on like where the environment I'm shooting in, I was like, okay, I want to make it more warm, or I want to make it a
yeah,
little bit more
yeah,
cooler
exactly.
type of
Like
thing.
like you wanna like edit how you like,
Yeah,
you know?
it's like, oh, this looks like a vintage type of vibe. Let me try to make
Yeah,
it a little bit more vintage. Like I kind of like look at it, but I also like I feel like people the way that you find your own creativity, and if people are copying you just to copy you, then it's like wow, like can like at least say a shout out. But like if you're copying for like to actually learn, then that's
hmm,
great, right? It's
yeah,
like because I feel like we've all copied someone, but we want to
for
make our
sure,
own style,
for sure.
right?
Yeah, yeah,
It's like I saw this post, I forgot from who, I don't know if it was from you or for someone else. It was like I like it, but I don't like it when you're like, oh, is this like you're shooting like Daniel Schiffler? It's like,
hmm,
oh, thanks, but like,
yeah,
yeah, I'm trying to get on his level, but like was my own creativity. This is
yeah,
like the way
yeah,
I did it,
for
type of thing.
sure.
It's like I'm not copying him. I know his style, but then I put my own twist into it, type of thing.
Yeah, and that's good. Like, I mean, you are trying to achieve that style. Like, if that's your direction, then go for it, you know. But like, there's a certain extent where like it's like to the point where like they're trying to copy exactly like
what you do.
like the subject would have the same outfit, or like the model would have the same outfit. It'd be like same poses, everything.
Yeah.
It's just like nonchalant, like copying.
Yeah.
And it's like your creativity is like lacking, you know.
Yeah.
And I guess that's also a leeway into like the process
Yeah.
of like my editing style and everything like that.
Yeah.
It's like I wanna like, what are your intentions? That's like what I ask myself when I edit. Like, what are my intentions with this photo? What am I trying to show? Or,
Yeah.
like, what am I trying to get the model to feel?
Yeah.
Everything like that. Or like, what do I want the my audience to like think about this picture?
Yeah.
But most of my photos is like fashion photography. So it's more like it's more attention to like pieces.
Oh,
So it'd
okay.
be like, oh, that shirt, like they had that shirt, like, I don't know, like in a runway or something like that.
Yeah.
Or it would just be like simple beauty pictures, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like if they're trying to promote their brand, stuff like that, like of course I'll be down to help out like everything. But for them, like, what are they trying to showcase? Are they trying to showcase like eyelashes or like nails, or, like everything like that?
Yeah.
So that's actually what I've been into like lately also.
Oh, that's tough.
Like recently I've been doing like some magazine work like with my friends.
Oh.
Yeah, so like it's a collaborative work, so I'm like the main photographer for her.
Oh,
But
that's
like
so cool.
I can't really talk about it yet because she hasn't finished it, and I don't know if she even wants me to talk about it.
Oh, dude, that sounds so exciting.
Yeah, it's like a collaborative magazine, so I'm excited for that to come out.
Dude, would like the edits be like, like typical like front page like?
Yeah, so it would be like it's a magazine for like friends and family, basically.
Oh, okay.
Like, but it's showcasing like different creatives.
That's cool.
Basically, yeah, I'm excited for that.
So that's what you've been up to lately and stuff like that.
Yeah,
huh?
that's like one of the bigger projects I'm up to lately. And also, I'm actually trying to go to LA for a month. Yeah, me and my friend Miggy, Miggy Fatboy. I don't know if you know Miggy Fatboy, but we want to go to LA.
The modeling legend.
The modeling legend.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, like recently he's been dancing. So,
Really?
yeah, like he's been
Oh.
posting. I'm like, okay, go ahead. Man.
I haven't caught up with that guy since
Yeah.
VCU party.
VCU, yeah. I feel like I haven't seen anyone like in forever since
Yeah.
VCU.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
COVID, dude.
COVID ruined everything.
I'm
man.
saying.
Sucks. But yeah, like I do have people out in LA that want to work with me.
Oh, that's so dope.
And yeah, I told them, I was like, okay, there's a chance like I'll probably stay there for a month. So I'm actually looking at different places to stay at, everything like that, to pick up work. And,
Yeah.
like, because everyone wants to collab. I actually know one person there, and like they work with like a higher brand. I can't say.
Yeah, that's fine.
Who yet because of like
Confidentiality
yeah,
and like
exactly,
making sure you're keeping the client in
exactly
partnership.
Yeah, I can't say who, but yeah, they're out there and like they've invited me and they're like, yeah, like anytime you need to come out, like I'll show you the ways. Yeah, basically.
That's dope, and sometimes it just takes that one connection.
Exactly, and that's like that's what's so important about networking.
Yeah.
You know, like that connection you have with people, like that'll get you somewhere.
Yeah, dude, that's wow.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you, bro.
Thank you,
oh
dude,
my
thank
god,
you.
I can't wait to see
Hopefully it
this type
pulls
of stuff.
through. Like the only reason is just the whole COVID thing. So
Yeah.
like I'm actually scared of traveling, everything like that.
Yeah.
I know people who have gotten COVID like the past couple months,
Yeah,
and they're like, nah, it's not worth it, and everything like that.
yeah,
I'm just like, okay, so it makes me rethink, you know.
yeah. Definitely be more safe about it, because like we're at the age where like we can go through it, but like still rather.
Yeah,
Not go
exactly.
through it
It's like,
type of thing.
I'll just wait, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, any tips you would give for other photographers out there, or like people who are trying to like get into the business, or like who are struggling right now, type of thing, like based off like the processes that you've made, what you've gone through.
So I would say be professional. I've noticed a lot of fashion photographers here are for the girls.
Okay. Interesting.
their intentions are to gain friendship or more with a model other than like creating something, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
If you're choosing to be a photographer, keep that profession and don't I guess don't be like a kind of creep.
Yeah, predator type of
predator
thing.
type of vibe.
Yeah.
Because recently I saw that there was a list of photographers that just got called out,
Oh,
like for like being, I guess, predatory, creepy ish, and
interesting.
some of them are like actually like they're actually still shooting like models, and I'm not sure if the model knows about like
Their intentions.
their intentions or like the photographer, but if I do hear like one thing like, oh, this photographer is like he's weird, like he
Yeah.
does some creepy stuff,
Yeah.
then it's like I'm cutting them off.
Yeah,
Like,
type of
because
thing.
I have no association with any of that.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to be part of that circle. type of
Exactly,
thing.
exactly. So keep being a professional
Yeah.
and know your intentions. Also, I guess another tip is post what you like, you know?
100%.
Post what you like, because if you post what other people like, then you're not going to be happy.
Yeah, it's not
with your work.
it's not about the likes.
Mhm.
It's not about the money. It's about what you like, and then you'll get the followers from that and
Exactly.
stuff like that. Things will follow type of thing.
It'll come to you.
Yeah.
You know, everything will come to you. If you keep pushing your work, it'll come to you.
Tough.
You know?
Tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing. It doesn't take like 2-3 days for everything to come to you. It takes like
Yeah.
it takes a while.
Yeah.
It's
it could be that one day you get that breakthrough.
Exactly.
But it's all those years, months.
And the
of
thing is,
process.
after you get that breakthrough, you have to keep going.
Keep going. Yeah.
You have to, because that happened to me before. Like something big happened to me,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, like I did it.
Yeah.
I did it. It's cool. Like I'm here.
Yeah.
And then I just stopped for a few months. But the thing is, you have to keep pushing, because people still expect to see your work from that.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, like he did this. Okay, I can't wait to see more from him.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Gotta stay hungry.
Exactly. You have to stay hungry, and don't be comfortable. Never be comfortable, because the more comfortable you are, the more you're gonna slack.
Be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because even when you know you made it, you need to make sure you're secure.
Yeah.
You made it for the long run. type
For
of
sure.
thing.
Because, yeah, again, like you just have to keep pushing your work, because you never know what your potential is.
Yes.
You know,
100% agree.
because you kind of settle for a while,
Yeah.
and then people are like, oh, like what happened to him?
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. Like he can do that. He fell off, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. just keep pushing.
Yeah.
You know, that's another big tip.
I think those are all great advice.
Yeah.
Really great advice. If you stay professional, don't have any intentions, like, you know why you're doing this, so why are you asking for that extra stuff?
Yeah.
Like, if it comes, it comes, like, you know, type of thing. It's like, don't ask for more than you're
Let it be natural.
Yeah.
It'll come to you, you know.
type of thing. Tough. Any other final thoughts or questions about anything?
No.
Pretty
Nothing.
straight?
Yeah,
Alright.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, Kobe, thanks for being on this
Thank
podcast.
you, Vinny.
I hope
Thank
to
you,
have
thank
you
you.
here another time, maybe
For
talking
sure.
about a different subject.
For sure.
Type
for
of
sure.
thing, because I feel like we could have kept on talking, to be honest.
I know.
Type of thing, but you know,
Yeah.
trying to make sure you guys don't hear
Yeah.
too long, and we keep more episodes for the future
For sure.
and stuff like
Maybe
that.
another one.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, if you wanted to plug your socials, you know, give yourself a shout out real quick. I'm gonna put in a link below and edit it into the
Awesome.
description up here area.
So follow me. Instagram is Kobe with the shots, or my website is kobebryan.com. But I'm actually revamping my whole style. So I have a lot of work I haven't been posting in like months.
I feel like that's the right path to go. Like, if you want to revamp, you need a stockpile before doing it.
I've just been like, I've been stockpiling all my work, because once I release it, it's gonna be like, bam.
Yeah. Because I feel like as a creative, you develop every day, so you learn something new, and then you're like, oh, now I don't kind of do it like how.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you again for being with me, Kobe.
Thank you, Vinny.
shout out to all of you guys out there for watching the episodes. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe if you're on the YouTube channel. Follow and share if you're on Apple Music or Spotify. And we'll look forward to seeing you in the next episode next Monday.